Yes, good morning. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I had a pretty active weekend. Let's see. Let's make a couple adjustments here. And we'll get started. I hope you guys enjoyed, those of you that were in the live feed Saturday night, Ask Me Anything. I hope you enjoyed that. And then also, if you were part of DIY's live feed about the book report, which we haven't decided what the next book will be. I hope you guys enjoyed that as well. So, see if is the interweb working? Yeah, there's a situation here going on with YouTube, so we'll just do that. Leave page. Anyways, good morning. I hope all is well. It is Monday, 7 a.m. Central. 7-ish, 7:05, right? I know I'm a little bit late, but we're not on a time crunch, man. You don't care about that. So we'll take a look at the spot market. We'll take a look at what volumes are doing, and we'll also take a look at some things that we're looking at this week. I don't think I have much on my roster this week as far as dispatch goes. I say that, but then I'll be nailed with something, which is good. I need to be busy, but it'll also give me a chance to catch up some YouTube stuff. To deal with, and I'm having the I apologize. Basically, it gives me a chance to do some YouTube recorded stuff that I've been wanting to do for a while, stuff that might help you, some stuff that might entertain you. I've been kind of going nuts with the shorts on all kinds of different topics. YouTube doesn't know what to do with me, which is fine. That makes two of us. I don't know what to do with me either. But anyways, good morning. Hope all is well. I'm trying the Death Wish coffee for the first time today. I believe TJ was recommending that. I got the medium roast, though. I didn't get the dark roast. I know this is really important, riveting stuff, but bear with me, right? It's called Morning Coffee Live. You're truck drivers. You like coffee, right? So the it's good coffee though. It's not like I probably won't go out of the way to buy more of it, but it's not bad. It's better than most, but it's not as good as the Black Rifle or the Camerons, or what's the other one I like? Cafe Altura. So one of these days we'll do. I would love to have a coffee endorsement. That'd be kind of neat. Be like, hey, drink such and such coffee. But anyways, good morning. All is well in the world, right? So no notice for live today. Says Pigtail. I got 2 phones that got notified, so might just be a thing. Southbound Packtern, what's up? I like that avatar. That's pretty neat. Don Shonger, hello. Daryl Worth, good morning. Vanessa Smithy, good morning. Need new entry song is getting old. You're right. I do need to change it up a little bit. You're absolutely correct, Mr. Wilson. The reason why I chose that riff, though, is because it is actually the raw tracks before I did the vocals on it. Growly vocals are just not everybody's thing. So I want them, and I don't have too many of those music tracks only CDs lying around, or if I do, they're buried somewhere, because I don't throw anything away when it comes to CDs, CDRs, or whatever. But if I find something new, you're right, I do need to change it up, maybe use some different footage. So hour late but not complaining. Love to see my Lord source. I'm not an hour late. You're an hour late. You're an hour ahead. I know where you're at. You're an hour ahead of us. So, not my fault you're out of whack. CDM, what's up? Good morning. Um, Hope you were able to go back and watch the live feed from Saturday night. I don't know if it's riveting enough for you to do that. I know you're a very busy person, but Don likes my song. No notice about live today. Well, hopefully we'll get over it. James G, hello. How's it going? Did you ever find that driver you were needing? The retired trucker, Pale Rider? Pale Rider, am I going to see you in Joplin September? Are you going to go to the Joplin Truck Show? I mean, you're only a couple hundred miles away from that one. By the way, my dedicated run that I was on is on the low board for 850 now. I had it for 1K. Glad I'm on the spot now. And there's going to be a lot of that going on. A lot of contracts are going to be renegotiated. A lot of contract freight is going to go down. And that's part of the cycle. Now, the good news to that is that usually indicates that we could start seeing an upswing in the spot. That's what I've noticed. But we're going to dwell here for a while. So, have a plan in place just in case we're dwelling here longer than expected when it comes to a down market. So, Desert Okie Pam, good morning. This run you got me is weekly run also. Yes. I talked to the broker on that. He asked me how often you're in the area, and I said, well, he lives in Missouri, so if this works out, man, let's come up with something. So there's an opportunity here. So we'll see how this run is, and then we'll talk. And if you think you're up for it, man, then this might be a good one. So, and the customers that you're running, if I know, this is probably going to be a thing for a while until someone comes in and underbids it, right? Cool Trucking, good morning. Russell Freight Services, LLC. Hey. I would buy your coffee. Yeah, I don't know how to make my own blend. I think that's a service. Like a lot of these metal bands have started making their own beers and their own wines, and and I think that there's a way to do that. I just not have researched it at all. I've got more important fires going on, more irons in the fire, but it would be cool to have my own coffee line, but I'm not really a coffee connoisseur. I mean, I'm just an old trucker that likes coffee, and I know it tastes good and what doesn't. So, and I don't even like mind Folgers, right? And coffee snobs be like, "Oh, I can't believe you drank that swill, dude." Get over yourself. What was that one YouTuber, Versili or something like that had his own coffee? I don't know if that worked out for him. He and his brother had coffee or something. I don't know. I didn't watch any of that stuff, but I'd heard through the grapevine that he had gotten out of the truck to do a coffee thing, and then now is back in the truck. So may not be that lucrative, right? Oh shoot, you forgot. You're dumb. Sounds like something I would say. SST. Yes, I plan to watch your weekend live feed today. Awesome. It's more of a listen. No need to watch. TK, hey now. You ain't no trucker no more. That is by design, Thomas Wilson. Things that I've got going on at home require me to be at home. So it's been a blessing that I've been home. Snorelord's never snore again. Coffee after 1 cup. You're up for 2 days, we promise. Yeah, you can only cram so much caffeine. I'm beginning to think that caffeine might be a bad thing for me. I love it. Weight is significantly less than what the rate con shows. Good deal. Only one big hill the entire trip. Cheap fuel in Illinois as well. Very similar to the dedicated run I had. There you go. See what happens when you look beyond your normal ox, Don. You'll find some little treasure that will work for a minute. So if you can do this for about a month or so before someone else takes it from you, I think that would be great. If everything's going smoothly, you're good to go. Versili was roasting bean and producing his own coffee. Yeah, and I'm not that dude. I'm gonna like come up with some flavors and put a label on it and be done. Like I'm not. I don't have room for a coffee roaster. I don't know how to roast coffee beans, and it's a very competitive market. Everybody and their mother's got some kind of coffee blend. So just like the beer, the whole home brewery thing, the independent brewery, that's way over saturated. Basically empty for the return. Nice, gotta love it. And it's easier to make in one day than I expected. Oh, good deal. That was the other part of the trip we were going to evaluate, was whether, because those times are kind of tight, but if you can pull that off and they're flexible, man, that's, for, traffic or weather or whatever, then I think that's pretty good. So T-Bone, good morning. T-Bone the Chicken Man. Has anyone tried Tim Pool's new coffee blend? The return of Roberto Jr. is supposed to be the best new coffee. No, I'd forgotten that he had done that. So no, I haven't. That dude's got his hands on many different things, and that's what an entrepreneur does. Is you have multiple streams of income. That's what I try to do. I've got the dispatch. I've got the trucking. If I ever get in the truck, I've got the YouTube. I've got 123 low board. Trying to work on a couple others, but they have not panned out yet. Dual lane and 70 mile per hour basically the entire way. Excellent. So long as the truck holds up, man, you're good to go. So that's the thing about. So what you have, I call that a gravy run, and I will run the same thing for a long time. Just to I'm about consistency. I like knowing what I do the next day. I was listening to a Ryan Mickler podcast, and it was an episode where they answer a lot of people's questions, and he was talking about, someone asked, how do you reduce stress when you're on family vacations? And he talked about, he's a planner. Like, there are two types of people that take vacations, one that's spontaneous and one that plans everything out. I'm more of the planner type. I want to know what we're doing. Like when we went to Disney World years ago, we had it planned out, and we had to leave the plan a little bit because of rain. There was one day where it just rained all day. One day where it just yeah, I think I said that right, and it worked okay. We needed the break, so it was actually, that spontaneity actually worked for us. But I like having a plan, right? I don't. As a company driver, I found myself in a position, because I was learning trip planning, to, I find myself trying to look for parking in Atlanta at 10 o'clock at night. That's what I like about self-dispatch, having that control of, like, okay, well, if I take this load, this, that, man, I'm looking for parking in Atlanta at 10 o'clock at night. I can't do that. Or that's going to be a challenge, or I know I need to reserve a spot, that kind of thing. So that's one of the tricks that it keeps the stress level lower, right? It's good to be stressed out at times to to develop mental resilience, but at the same time, if you're doing that constantly, you're going to be in a constant state of cortisol, and that's not good for you. It's not good for your mind. It's not good for your body. So But I was having this conversation with Shannon the other day about reconning the mission. And once you get that rate con, look to see where you're going. Get on Google Maps. Even look at the Street View. Take a look at where you're going. Take a look at where you're going to turn. See if the trucker GPS matches what Google's telling you. And once you kind of know what to expect, it's less stressful to go in. Because some of these shippers, like on these 2-lane roads, you miss your turn, man. You might be going 20, 30, 40 miles out of route. There's a video I did, one of my last GoPro videos I did. I got lost because I missed a turn. And the road got narrower and narrower. I'm sitting there like, I'm freaking out now. and so I'm trying to, so I get up on this road and I try to back out, and this dude comes up to me, it's local. He's like, dude, you all right? I'm like, yeah, man. Do you know if I can even go this way? Because you can't tell that from Google Maps. He's like, yeah. I said, you can just follow me. Then once we get to the stop sign, take a left, and that will put you on that road, and that will put you on the main road, so you'll be fine. I'm like, okay. Now, we did a little tree trimming, but we were fine. But still, as that narrowed down, man, I was like getting kind of nervous. It's like, man, I'm going to end up on somebody's YouTube channel as look at this idiot, God forbid if I contribute to that, right? DIY Semi, good morning. Don't haul for Everest TS more than 30 days past due. That's a good good words there. Good words. So seeing if you're like me and don't take vacation, no stress from vacation planning. It seems most of the chat don't take vacations, just days off at home. Yeah, what we do is we had to visit family in Oklahoma. So we planned that trip a little bit. And then what was the other thing? We planned like staycations. I think the last true vacation we did was actually in St. Louis. And then but for the most part, we'll go to Arkansas for a day, or we'll go to Kansas City for a day. And we're usually home by that night. We don't do the hotel thing hardly at all. The Oklahoma City was a hotel thing. And then, of course, Matt's. But there's nothing really to plan that way. I mean, I just show up and do what I need to do, and hopefully I can get some more fun stuff done in there. So I found that when I go to Matt's, the hotel's already booked, the car's booked, the trip is nothing, 44 to 64. Or no, wait, no, that's not right. Yeah, is that? I can't remember. It's been so long. And then that's it. I mean, there's not much to it. So thanks, DIY, says Don. So, all right, let's get on the low board here and let's take a look at a few things. And let's see what we got going on here. All right. Now, I've been relying on the 123 low board a lot more often. I'm not just saying that because it seems like I don't see as much of the scam brokers on here. Because here, something to look at. So let's look at the hot market mat on van here. California has been pretty dominant coming out. Like right now, there's let's hover over this. There's on the 123, there's 503 outbound, 347 inbound, and then if you got interstate, man, there's quite a bit to do in there. I've never researched California interstate. Anyways, the rates coming out of California and the volumes coming out are pretty good. Like here we go, $240 a mile to go from LA to Nashville. to come out of California for van. That's I don't know if this is going to be multiple stop or what, but I mean, as you could see, it's quite a bit higher than the rest, than the averages there. So California is definitely a hot market now, which also means going into California is not great rate wise. But see, you can see this broker. This is Shram Logistics, and of course, you can scroll down and you can kind of see they're pre-approved by Thunder. So if you factor through Thunder Flame, but you can also see their trans credit score, and it will also tell you if they're a TIA member. So it's got a few filters there that you can look at. I had to tell a driver the other day. I said, if you're on the DAP board and you see something that doesn't even have a credit score there, more than likely you probably want to avoid that. So yeah, Wife Lord does go on road trips without me. Let's see. Matt's is not a vacation. Going to Hawaii, Mexico, Europe, Iceland, Canada are vacations. I think 5 days is minimum to classify a vacation. That's true. If that's true, which I agree with you, I probably haven't been on vacation since we took the kids to Disney World. The St. Louis trip was over a weekend, and Oklahoma City was over a weekend. So, and you're right, Matt's is more of a working business trip than anything else, right? So, but so I'm like you, CDN. I haven't had a vacation in a while. So I've been an owner operator for 8 years now, and as a company driver, it was easier to take vacation time because you just pick a week and park your truck, right? But when you're owner op, it's a little bit harder. But if you're a lease op with a weekly payment, it's definitely a very difficult thing. So let's see. See what else we got here. Ez Logistics, Foothill Ranch, California. Now that one's at $1.75. They don't have any. They don't have a rate check. I mean, they have the rate check, but they don't have a posted rate. 35,000 or 3,500 pounds. This picks up today. Let's see. Let's sort this by pickup date. See how many loads are posted for today. Quite a bit. A lot of last minute stuff, man. They're making it hard to book ahead sometimes. A lot of stuff for today. A lot of last minute stuff. So that's kind of a good thing. Let's take a look at Missouri here. And let's sort this by, well, no, we've got it sorted by postage, right? So if there's a lot of today's stuff on stuff being posted now, that tells me it's a last minute market. That's not indicating this. They're already posting stuff for tomorrow. There's some stuff for today that hasn't been covered. I can go to Canada and visit somebody. See Kansas City to Dallas, $1.54 a mile. Man. Unbelievable. Springfield to Irving. Here we go. $2.73 a mile to go to Indy from Fredericktown, Missouri. Picks up today, delivers tomorrow at 9 a.m. Sykeston, Aurora. This is probably going to be generic soda. Probably going to Walmart. 24. Cargo's got it at 25, 248 a mile. Let's see, Blue Springs, Missouri to Hazleton, Pennsylvania. They've got it posted for 2,000. Normally it's around 23. Probably get them up to that. It'll be interesting to see what they do with rates this week. I know that I had no leverage on Friday at all, like nothing. Like it was a challenge. So let's take a look at Flatbed here. All right, so let's take a look. Getting fuel for $3.09 a gallon, Illinois today. Excellent. DIY. What were the DTP for these brokers when you book these loads? Hmm. 27 and 30 days, both now over 60. Wow. I got certificate in freight broker and dispatch, says the Bandit Junior. Nice. Oh my. I had one broker, Elite Transit, that went over 60 days and won't haul for them anymore. It was the same story with them as well. 30 days to pay when I booked the loads. I've been talking about this as an issue in the trucking logistics industry. Owner-operators need to set aside a portion of each load as vacation fund, just like companies that offer paid vacation. Owner-operators should be able to park the truck 2 weeks a year, and costs and wages are paid from your vacation fund. I agree with that, but most people are living paycheck to paycheck right now. They can't afford a vacation, let alone just to float the bills for 2 weeks. That's where a lot of people are at. I talk to so many owner operators that if they miss one day, they're done, or if they have one repair, they're done. That's the reality of the situation that we're in. And one of my guys is on vacation, and he definitely does that. He does follow your advice. And but for the most part, most people don't. Most people don't have savings. Most people don't think of the worst case scenario. Most people just they just don't. And it's sad when I see a good owner operator. Well, no, let me rephrase that. It's sad when I see a good person who means well that goes out of business because of the choices that they've made. But also, there's a learning part to this. And the first thing you got to learn is money management. Because if you don't, you're out here by sheer luck. And I mean, that was my case. I wasn't good with my finances. I wasn't good at tracking my numbers. I didn't know what I needed. I know what I wanted. We all want to make $3-4 a mile. We all want that on long hauls. Man, if it was that easy, well, it did. It became that easy, and look what happened. Now it's inundated with a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing. More so than it ever was before. And a lot of people took advantage of that. A lot of people with, leasing trucks out took advantage of that. So it's just how it is. Days to pay, DTB. I've cut my expenses so much this year that somehow I'm more profitable than I was last year. I definitely do that, CDN. The fix is when talking knowing cost, vacation pay funds should be added to the formula. That's a great idea. Excellent idea. Because I know, like Thomas Wilson, we're going to pick on him for a minute. I know that when his truck needs some big maintenance, or if it goes down, you know what he does? He books a flight home while the truck's being worked on, and goes out and gallivants in his glamping mobile. You know that's it's hard to take a vacation when the truck breaks down and you find yourself home for 2 weeks, not knowing what the repair is going to cost, or maybe it's a $10,000 repair, and then now do you just sometimes you got to take from that vacation fund. So it's a struggle right now. It really is. And I'll be recording a video about seems to be a hot topic with some of the other channels there, but it's going to be 7 questions you need to ask yourself before you become an owner operator. I don't want to do it right now because we're concentrating on the low board stuff. That's why we retired. When you start dipping into the retirement fund to operate, that's an indication it's time to get out. Thank God we had the option to retire. That is absolutely true. Cool trucking. I know people that pulled out their 401k just to buy a truck, or they pulled out their 401k to to keep their operations. And I cannot and will not ever do that. I have some other thoughts about that, but I'm going to keep that to myself for now. All right, so this is Flatbed. Let's take a look at what Flatbed looks like coming out of Minnesota. Let's do that. Let's sort this by highest rate. See what the long haul stuff looks like. Minnesota to Virginia, 2,800, 2,850. Lakesville to Fort Hood, $1.58 a mile on a flatbed. So much for going to flatbed because that's where all the money is, right? Is this a partial? Nope, 48,000 pounds. $1.46. $1.18 to go to Connecticut. See if this is a partial. Doesn't say 10,000 pounds, 10 feet. Yeah, this is a partial, so put another couple of those on there, you'd be all right. Here we go, 353 a mile to go to North Dakota. Only 368 miles, $1,300. But what are you going to get out of North Dakota? I'm sure Sandman, if he was in here, he would say that's where he lives for some strange reason. Here we go, Faribault to Oklahoma City. See if this is a partial. 48,000 pounds, $1.44 a mile. Interesting. If I had, here's the thing. If I was in a position where I saw the money Flatbed was making and I went and bought, took the training and went and bought straps and chains and binders and all that and switched platforms, I think that would upset me. and realize that the only people that made money off of you was the people that sold you the chains, the straps, and the trailer. $941. That was the other thing that was happening Friday is everybody was on the odd number thing. Every single person, every broker I negotiated with, every person I talked to, odd number, odd number, odd number. It was getting kind of annoying, to be honest with you. So let's look at the rates going into Minnesota. What do they look like? $1.82, $1.86, $1.86. California is obviously the place to be. It seems to have a lot of the freight on here going to Minnesota. Here's some stuff out of Louisiana. I bet you this is lumber. Trident Transport. They're at $238 a mile, $2,800, 45. You can go on a flatbed or a step deck. That's not a bad run. So let's take a look at Reefer. CB says, ain't no Minnesota flatbedders getting a vacation this year with those rates. All right. Just got loaded, boss. Now heading back. Excellent. Be safe. Shannon, good morning. I missed most of your live feed yesterday because I got a phone call. Oh, hey, by the way, you need to call me. I have some information to relay to you about your truck, which is why I missed your live feed. So call me later. All right. So let's take a look at Reefer here. G-Star, good morning, Mr. Snorelord and all drivers. Greetings from Oil City, Pennsylvania. Just delivered a load of aluminum. Excellent. Was it recycled? Was it clean? Was it scraps? Was it baled? Was it ingots? Let's take a look at Reefer coming out of Pennsylvania, shall we? $1.64, 4,500 to go all the way from Pennsylvania to Washington State. $1.27, $1.71. Let's take a look at this one. Bethlehem, Pennsylvania to Stockton, California. $1 a mile. 43.5 on the weight. It's a full truckload. Think about that. Can you survive on $1 a mile? For how long? You might be able to for a little bit. Your profit is 4 cents a mile on this load after fuel and your percentage. Would you be a company driver for 4 cents a mile? No. But that's what you're doing. Imagine going 2,800 miles and you're only profiting $122. Imagine that. That's the world we're in right now, people. But someone's taking that load. $3, $59. Now, traditionally, Pennsylvania pays lower to go out, especially out to California. I get it. Here's the $1.66 Scranton, PA to Oklahoma City with 2 extra stops, so 3 stops. They're at 2,500. They're at $1.66 a mile. 26,000 pounds. Stops in York, Town, Indiana, and Bolingbrook, Illinois. What's the profit from this load? 59 cents a mile, a little bit better. 893. 12 is what you might be at the end of the day. At 20%. Loads are disappearing, man. So let's sort this by rate per mile. That's where you're going to see a bunch of shorties going up further northeast. Yep. Allentown, PA to Bud Lake, New Jersey, $9.90 a mile, but $475 for the day. Let's take a look at that one. That doesn't pick up till Thursday, or no, Wednesday. My days are all messed up. Cargo Chief doesn't even have anything on here for that. 43.5 on the weight. Picks up at 5:30 and delivers 7:30 the next morning. And now the profit shows good, $721 a mile, $345. So you're going to take home more money on this load than grabbing that one going all the way out to California. Do you see why the short haul approach works? But your costs better not be above $450 a day or $475. I like the mid-range hauls. Here's one, $800 to go from Bethlehem, PA to the Bronx. So let's take a look at the tolls on that one. Toll cost is $128 approximately. So what's your profit? $451 a mile, $442 out of 800. But then you're dealing with the Bronx. And now if you live there and you know it, you know the customer, that's probably not a bad day. But CDN says when brokers add their 25 to 30% profit, 1068 rounds up to 1069. Oh, that's funny. You can tell onion season is over in Idaho. Won't pick up till the end of August. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, Idaho did go yellow. It was green a couple of days ago. Oh, 5,700 to go from Twin Falls to Mass. Picks up Thursday. It's right about where Cargo Chief is. It's about right. Let's take a look at the profit. $1.02 a mile, 26.18 on the keep. 40,000 pounds of palletized scraps from Ohio, but they paid pretty good. Good deal, man. Sean Price on the Facebooks. Good morning. Lots of guys moving onions to Grand Island, Nebraska. Must be rolling east. Yeah, onions, the raw onions can go on flatbeds. Math, very inconvenient. It is, Pigtail, it is. Impossible to know what a load actually paid. It would be great to interview carriers who are taking $1 a mile to find out how they do it. That's what I've said in the past. Like, fine, everybody's like, oh, these carriers that are doing this, I can't believe someone would do that. Can't believe this. I don't understand how. We'll find out. Look for it. Say, hey, did you take that load from York, Pennsylvania to California? Yeah. How do you do that? Well, we make $4 going out to Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. There you go. Now you know. Or that's what my dispatch service got me. He needed a dispatch service. So it's you're absolutely right, CDN. You're absolutely right. Find out how people are pulling this off so you at least know. And I'll give you an example. When I went to El Paso with Landstar, I couldn't find a load to save my life. There was no freight. Then once I lowered my minimum, there was all the freight. And I went into the Petro there. I've told this story many times, but I went to the Petro there in El Paso, and it looked like a Landstar terminal. Oh, there's an abundance of Landstar trucks. That's part of it. But then one of the Landstar drivers was like, because he was having trouble finding something that paid decent. He goes, "Yeah, man, these guys around here, they'll take 80 cents a mile all day and every day. And the agents give them the loads first." And I'm like, "Oh, well, there you go." So guess what I did? I stopped going to El Paso. That's part of that learning process. What I ended up doing is I ended up picking an empty can load going up to Las Cruces, New Mexico. You know how much freight is in Las Cruces, New Mexico for a dry van? That's worse than El Paso. So at some point, I took my hit. I took my lumps and just stopped running that area. So at that point, the only Texas stuff I would do was either to Laredo, because coming out of Laredo was pretty good, or I was doing Abilene, Texas, out of Oklahoma City, or out of Tulsa actually, and then and that was a tailgate load, so I made extra money on those. And then I grabbed Big Spring, Texas, plastic bottles to go to Coke in Oklahoma City. That was my triangle for a minute, and that did all right. Light loads both directions. You could spend the night at the customers, except for Oklahoma City, Coca-Cola. You can't do that there, but I mean, hell, there's a truck stop literally down the road from there. Impossible to know what a load actually paid. It would be great to okay, I already read that. I don't know why it's posted twice. See, good morning, everyone. Hope you're all doing great. P.S. If you're up and breathing, it's a great day. With both feet, that's a great way to look at it. Just like how a dollar store sells a notebook or a bottle of water for $1 to $2, but a drugstore charges double on these items. Why and how? Well, that's the supply chain, right? They can get it at bulk. That's why Walmart beats a lot of independent stores, because of those reasons, right? So I mean, it's the same principle. I think that's probably what you're trying to point out. So let's see. You got Twin Falls, Quakertown, 206 a mile, 208. I can't read. 4,800. Cargo Chief's got about 55. The range is anywhere from 56 to 44. Notice SRAM Logistics has a lot of loads on here, right? Not bad on the credit. 26 days to pay, 38 for Thunder. 97 credit score. They got an A rating, so probably safe with these guys. But as Adam has pointed out, may not be so much later. That's one of the things you want to look for, whether you factor or not. See how many days they're taking these brokers to pay. You're going to see a lot of brokers increasing their days to pay, and a lot of excuses like the bills aren't signed right, or oh, sorry, it got lost, check is in the mail, kind of stuff. You're going to see an uptick in a lot of that, as a lot of brokers are struggling right now. Well, CDN doesn't deal with that because his brokerage they're on their A game. But here we go. Nampa, Idaho to New Jersey for $1.41 a mile. California Freight Sales, never heard of them. Picks up today, delivers Wednesday. Okay, does anybody see the problem with that? Picks up today and delivers Wednesday, and it's 2,400 miles. Does anybody see the problem with that? And it doesn't say team anywhere down here at all. It says truckload. So if you go by the dates, yeah, $2,400 or $3,500 in 2 days. Yeah, that's great. But you can't do that run in 2 days. Maybe you old school cowboy truck drivers could on paper back in the day, but that's it. So this says sketchy all the way around. So let's scroll down. What's their credit look like? Well, they're pre-approved by Thunder. They're at 97 days to pay. Or I'm sorry, they're at 97 with 30 days to pay on trans credit, and then a B score on Thunder, 38. But is this a team load, or is this a misposting? And right away, this I wouldn't even call on this load, other than morbid curiosity to see what if they honestly think you're going to do 2,400 miles in 2 days. Unbelievable. Gooding, Idaho to Depair, Wisconsin. July 21st to the 24th, 3 days at 1641. That's more like it. Cheese. Imagine that. Cheese going into Wisconsin. I thought cheese came out of Wisconsin. Not bad on the credit. Fortune Logistics. I'm not familiar with them. I don't think I've ever worked with them before. So here we go. Boise, Idaho to Olathe, Kansas. Picks up at 2 o'clock today. Delivers at 1 a.m. on Thursday for 1,366 miles. Now, the problem with this load is that you're looking at a 4-day transit, well, 3-day transit, but you're delivering at 1 a.m. So things have got to go pretty correctly, clockwise. But then now you're starting your clock in Olathe at 1 a.m. And I think I know who this customer is. You have no choice but to start your clock at this customer. Creamers. So yeah. So is this a good load? Boise to Olathe? Logistics wise, it's not bad as far as like locations. Because there's quite a few loads coming out of Olathe. Credit's good. They are not pre-approved by Thunder though, so you'd have to look it up in their website if you factor through Thunder. So just something to think about. Would you take this load, and for how much? All right. Looking for a driver, Boise, Idaho, some day runs, some overnight, email and channel description. I can't drop a link here. With both feet, there you go. Everybody go to his channel, check it out. You can put your email on here if you want. Am I going deer hunting this year? I don't know. That might have been a bridge that I burned when I got angry with Big Rig CEO, so I don't know. I would have to go elsewhere, and I'm not experienced enough to do it on my own, nor do I have the equipment or the know-how to do it on my own. So I don't know if I'm going deer hunting this year. It's a very random question, Cool Trucking. What do you say? You need to come out and go elk hunting. That would be cool. That would be cool. There is a small elk hunt here in Missouri, but you got to get on the list, and it costs money, and you got to. I'm like 2 years into hunting, and I'm Definitely not an elk hunter for sure, but I think it would be cool. Let's see. Caldwell, Idaho to Fargo, North Dakota, $1.91 a mile. Worldwide Express. Problem with this it's got 2 stops, one in Billings, one in Fargo. Fairly low for the price. 9,100 pounds, frozen. So you're going to burn through more fuel. And that's another thing you can kind of add to this cost calculator. But look how many loads are coming out of Fargo. There's 9. And they're all coming out of Minnesota. Well, there's a couple South Dakota. You're deadheading a little bit. Oh, it's not too bad, actually. So you do this load, and then you grab this load out of White Park and go to Davenport for $3.05 a mile. That might be cool. Let's see what that A means. I have no idea what that A means. I've never seen that. Let's see what it says. -10 frozen chicken, reefer, air ride. Okay, they just want you to definitely have an air ride. So pick that up, and then Iowa's good on volumes coming out. So you're good to go on that load. So that might be something you do. Must be 8:00. My YouTube notifications are going nuts. Let's see. So, anyways, that's what's going on. But there's your market maps. We'll see what this week brings. I am not optimistic. People keep asking me, what do I think? What's get your crystal ball out and all that. I do know that van might see maybe a slight uptick because there is some freight that's going to come in on the boats. But what that's going to do is that's going to drive rates down going into the ports. So it balances out, really. I don't think anything significant is going to happen that's going to save your business if you're struggling already. If you're surviving, good on you. Every day you're surviving is a day step forward. But beyond that, you got to do what you got to do. Make some adjustments. Keep your head on your shoulders and keep your head in the game and figure it out. And prepare for the worst. And then hope for the best. So anyways, with that being said, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate everybody that comes in here and supports the channel. I appreciate the positive and negative comments because that's what we do. I'm not. Yeah. So anyways, strength for today, over tomorrow. Aggression turns the screw. Figure it out, man. Figure it out. Peace.